Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for mid-March 2023. We're just going to jump right in here, Scorpio, and we're going to see what is going on for you at this time. This is going to be like a free flow reading. We're just going to see what comes up. You have this parenthood card. It says healing your inner child will help you make more money. And, some of you could be becoming a parent. But again, I think for the most part, this is encouraging you to, again, heal your inner child. It seems to me like we're in a time where, like, the universe or whatever you want to call it is encouraging us to, be more playful, to do more stuff that we enjoy in life, and to not take things like too seriously, of course. So anything you can do to do that would be a good idea. I also feel like if you're like not doing something that you always have dreamed of, like now would be the time to consider doing it. Maybe you always dreamed of, starting a business or being a ballerina or whatever it is. I don't care. I would just get started, or I would do something in that direction. And here you go. The sun, there's this wall in the back of the sun behind this baby. And the wall behind the baby there, it represents the wall that we all put up against our inner child, right? To some degree. So this whole entire reading, I feel, is encouraging you to kind of like be more playful in life for sure. You start off with the Eight of Pentacles here. You also have the Ten of Pentacles. And, this whole row is actually pretty interesting right here. Judgment, Ten of Pentacles, the Chariot. It looks to me like you could be finding a lot of success in business right now, or work, whatever it is that you do. Even if you're retired, you could be kind of like working on, Ten of Pentacles, like building, leaving a legacy. And again, we don't just stop doing that. Building and leaving a legacy is something that we do until we die, basically, whether we do it intentionally or not. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be working on some, kind of just give me vibes that you're working on some pretty important things right now. And I feel like you're seeing results, which is great. You also have the Strength card here. The Strength card is a card of patience. And I do get, I feel like you've been very patient. And I feel like you've been patient for a long time. So it's like you've been waiting for something, or you've been waiting for a change or something, I don't know, some sort of difference or something. I really don't know what's popping into my head. I have the word difference popping into my head. So I really don't know what that means. Maybe you're like waiting for your environment to change. It kind of feels like environment to me. You do have the Chariot here, which can be a card of moving. So if you're waiting to move, you could be moving or something along those lines. You have the King of Cups here as well. I kind of feel like this is how you are showing up in the reading. I feel like you're showing up in a very strong position. This would put you in a position of power and strength. I also do feel for a small percentage of you, this could be love. So if you want love, you have basically every single sign here. Fire, you have earth, a little bit of earth, you have water. So, it could be any sign. But what I would say is I feel this is talking about you kind of like feeling just more stable this week. And again, you could be like feeling like your emotions are stable. Also, how interesting is this? You have this Shipwreck card to the Ship card right here. For some of you, I'm wondering if it's not like, I don't get the energy of you fixing a situation. That's not like what's popping into my head. It's not like you're picking something like a shipwreck up off the ground and moving on to something else, or, kind of reviving it. I feel like you're moving on to something else that's much, much better. Like, look, this row is much, much better. So with that Eight of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Basically, the universe saying I meant what I said. So I feel like the things that you're putting work into are going to lead to a lot of success. I always like to say, like, if you've been working on something, Eight of Pentacles represents material success on the horizon. So it can just say, like, whatever you have been working on up until this point, you're going to start seeing more results in the very near future. With the Strength card, you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. So whatever you can do to work with other people is just going to lead to more success with this Three of Pentacles energy. I also, to me, these two cards are both kind of cards that are very similar. The Eight of Pentacles can represent mastering a craft. The Three of Pentacles can kind of represent mastery. The guy on the Three of Pentacles, he is very good at whatever he is doing. So if you are like trying to master a craft, if you're trying to become an expert on something, I really like this energy for you. With the King of Wands, the King of Cups, you have the Nine of Wands here. Nine of Wands says don't give up. I do feel like it's saying you're in a good position. I do feel like you could be attracting a person who is a little bit in the Nine of Wands energy that could be a little bit closed off. Could also be you. Because, sorry, I'm just like throwing in the entire deck now all over the place. But You have this card here, the Shipwreck card. It says, find closure, the end of a phase or a cycle. So, again, maybe some of you have been heartbroken. You have the Five of Swords, which could be a separation or a breakup. And, I feel for some of you, this could be about kind of like letting go of one situation. And again, if you are letting go of a situation, it looks like you're about to enter into something much, much, much better. I would be careful of the past. At the end, you have this Dagger card, and it says conflict and danger, lie in wait. Again, this could be, you have the Knight of Wands showing up here. And what I would say is that, I'm going to solve this problem for you right now, because this to me looks like a person who's maybe selling you like a false bill of goods, So this could be a past person who's coming in and saying, oh, I want the Ten of Pentacles with you, but really they're still the Knight of Wands. They're still a player. So if you have a past person, I would, with the Judgment card here, I would definitely avoid that past person, because then you can avoid the dagger in your back. If you're meeting a new person, I feel like the new person is much more clear, like on their desires, much better future. And that's like what I'm feeling here intuitively. Again, you have the Five of Swords, which, this could be some sort of separation that you have experienced. I definitely feel that for some of you. You have the Emperor here as well. And the Emperor is about like taking action. I really kind of feel, for whatever reason, I feel like this part of the reading, the middle, is encouraging you to work on yourself. Like, if you're worried about love, or if you're worried about attracting some bozo like this or whatever, I kind of feel like this is saying, as long as you're focusing on the right things, you're going to attract the right people. So, again, I would be careful of the past. The Emperor, he also has this like shield. It's kind of hard to see, but right here on his shoulder, he has that shield, and it kind of looks like it's part of the clothes, and it is, but, I kind of feel it's saying that you could be protecting yourself from a past person, and I do feel that is the right thing to do here. You have the Lovers, so clearly love. If you want love, could be a new connection coming in for you. I do feel like you're much more clear on what you want, and, the other thing that makes me not so worried about that Dagger card is the Queen of Swords. Again, she has that sword up, but her hand out, so it's like you're ready to defend yourself if you need to defend yourself from some like past person or whatever the case may be. For some of you, you might be hoping for closure from a person, but, maybe you're just not going to get it. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Hangman. Yeah, it's like, I feel like you have all the answers you need, and this is specifically for those of you that are hoping to get closure from a person. I feel like this is saying you have all the answers that you need, and it's just time to kind of move forward now with this Hangman energy. With the Emperor, you have the Strength card. You have the Strength card twice. The Emperor, it could be your energy. The Emperor is, the Strength card is normally the lady, and she has her hands in the lion's mouth, and the lion is submitting to her. And the lion kind of represents your inner, critic, your inner demons, all those things. And, I feel like the Emperor could be saying that you're taking control, and even the Chariot is a card of control. Chariot is a card of hard control. And guess what else? The Strength card is a card of soft control. So it's like you're taking much more control over the direction of your life is what this reading is saying to me. And I feel like that's what's going to lead to kind of like more success. With the Lovers, I'll show you over here. You have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, but it's also your happily ever after. So I'm telling you right now, this is the direction that I would go in right here. I feel like the Queen of Swords is saying that you are clear, like you have the answers. But again, I don't know, maybe this person right here has, like, maybe they know all the right spots, or, maybe they have the secret sauce or something. I don't know. But, what I would say is I don't think this person has changed. So I would definitely be careful of the past for some of you. Next, you have this Turtle card. It says slowness, protection. You have the Ship. It says directions and journey on it. So I feel like you're going in a new direction. Again, it's like I feel you're moving away from a sunken ship, moving towards something that's much, much better. And, it's like could be a new journey in your life. Even the, you have the Judgment card, the Ten of Pentacles, the Chariot. Both of these cards here kind of suggest moving on from the past. The Judgment card, these people, they are standing in the coffins. The coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. And then you have the Chariot. He's got that city behind him, which is something that's already been established, but he's moving away from the city. He is going somewhere new. He's experiencing something different. And then you have that journey card. So I feel like you are on a journey, and this journey is going to bring you a lot of happiness. But with the Chariot, we kind of have to trust that the universe is guiding us in the correct direction. We also have to use our manifestation because, he represents as above, so below. He has stars in his canopy and moons on his shoulders, and it kind of represents, again, using your powers of manifestation to get what you want. I kind of feel like what you are hoping for is a long-term success. You have the Ten of Pentacles here, and Ten of Pentacles is like the tree of life. It forms the tree of life, represents everything you want and desire to have in your life, Scorpio. And I feel like everything you want is going to, of course, be in a new direction. So that's what I would be doing here. Again, with the Judgment card, I would also be moving in a new direction. I would also be careful if, like, you're meeting a new person. Again, I don't like to put this stuff out there, but what I would say is, like, if you're meeting a new person, you could have a past person who's, like, trying to, I kind of get the energy of, like, a past person trying to mess things up here for you. So you might need to, like, block them, or maybe you need to tell a new person about a crazy ex or something like that. I feel like I said this to you recently, Scorpio. So, if I did, I definitely would do that. With the Judgment card, you have the Page of Wands, new adventure, literally. Page of Wands is he's going on a new adventure. He is following his enthusiasm. So I definitely feel you need to kind of like follow your enthusiasm, move towards things that make you feel enthusiastic as well. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Wands, very passionate new beginning. I kind of feel like your passions hold a lot of treasure. Like, remember what we said about being childlike at the beginning of the reading. And I've been talking about this for like 2 years now, that I really feel people need to move more towards like passions and desires, and not so much, just like things that they think that they should do. And, I think that's the difference right now, especially, we have Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces is a direct challenge to traditional belief. And so there could be like traditional beliefs, like maybe you were raised to get a career and like have a 401k and all this other stuff, but does it work anymore? I don't know, right? So maybe it doesn't work for you anymore. And this is like saying maybe your passions are pushing you in a new direction of like starting a business, or maybe you want to go start a commune or something. I don't know. Whatever it is, I would do it because that's where the true success is. And, people always say to me, Chris, you say the same thing every single reading about this. I'm like, yes, and why haven't you done it yet? Number one. Number two, I'm going to keep saying it because you're still watching me, right? It's like if you were doing it, then you probably wouldn't be watching. With the Chariot, you have the Four of Wands. I do feel like some of you could be attracting a person that you could marry very, very quickly. I'm not going to lie, I do see a danger of a past person here. I'm not even sure that's your person. It could be their person if you're meeting someone new. But whatever it is, I think there are ways we can avoid this, right? Number one, don't rush into the situation. Number one, communicate with the new person. Number three, I would say if something weird happens where you get a message from someone's ex or something, you might want to kind of clarify with the person instead of like taking their ex at their word. Right? So I would be clear. I also feel for others, this is talking about freedom. The Chariot is a card of freedom. He's leaving that city behind because there are certain rules and regulations in that city. He's like trying to set himself apart. So in the Four of Wands is like the card of freedom. I do feel that a lot of you are looking to be more free or to be set free. Maybe you're looking for creative freedom. You could also be like transforming your life in your career, for example, especially if we go this way to the Queen of Swords, so that you can like be more free. Like I said, maybe you want to have a job where you can choose your own hours, or maybe you want to have a job that just allows you more freedom. It's like maybe right now you have a controlling boss, the Emperor, right? And maybe there's just another job where there isn't such a controlling situation. So, I feel like that Queen of Swords is kind of like just saying you're clear that you need to take a new direction in life. Again, next you have this Dagger card. It says conflict and danger lie in wait. Again, these cards are a little bit dramatic, so I always tell people, like, don't, get too worked up about just one card in a reading that's very positive, just in general. But what I would say is I would definitely be careful of a past bozo here, especially if they were inconsistent. They have not changed, is what this reading is saying to me. So I feel like you could totally avoid this situation by not going back to it in the first place. You have the Queen of Swords, the Sun, and the Knight of Wands. See, you're clear on this. Like, I feel like you are clear. So don't allow, I do get an energy of like a person confusing you. So, don't allow a past person to come in and try to, pull on your heartstrings or try to confuse you here. I would also say that if you're meeting a new person, trust actions, not words. And also, she's like got her hand up. She's willing to receive, as I always say, but she has that sword up as well. So she's kind of like protecting herself. And I feel like that would be a good idea right now. You have the Sun. The Sun, I feel, is talking about your happiness. I also, I get something here. Sorry to switch back here, but I get something between these two here, Scorpio, that's kind of like saying that, the Queen of Swords can represent going through a deep transformation. And when we go through a deep transformation, it's like sometimes we get little bozos like this popping back up, trying to drag us back down, right? Kind of like the crab in the bucket, right? They try to keep everybody stuck. So this might not even be a lover. It could just be a person who's in your life. I would be careful of those types of people who, kind of like drag you back down. And as I always say, it doesn't mean we have to cut these people out of our lives, but maybe it means we have to limit exposure or just ignore them or, whatever you need to do. I would do it with this energy. I would say, especially if you're making a change, just look at all these cards like, Chariot. Even the King of Cups can represent a move. And then you have the two ships here, right? It really gives me these vibes of like moving. And the Judgment card can represent a new life. If you're thinking about moving or traveling, again, you might have family that doesn't want you to move away or whatever. So maybe they're trying to, maybe they're talking to you about all the dangers of the world and all that other stuff. But, I really feel this reading is encouraging adventure. So again, I'm not saying you have to cut family out, but maybe you just have to do what you want to do in the first place and, ignore what they're saying, right? Because I kind of feel like this reading is saying that, everything you want is going to be on the other side of some sort of adventure. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Page of Cups, new love, for sure. The other thing is again, I really get you're in this in-between zone here for some of you where it's like you're transforming. So I feel like you're attracting like higher vibe people, but again, like I said, I feel like this past person, it's like, since you're not like, maybe you haven't fully ticked over to this new transformation, it's like you might still kind of resonate with this past person. And maybe they're not even a terrible person, but again, I just feel like there's something better here, Scorpio. With the Sun, you have the Chariot. Are you kidding? Definitely a victory. And the other interesting thing is that the Chariot here is facing towards the future. If we put it here, it's going towards the future. So again, move towards your happiness, move towards new opportunities. And again, don't let people kind of like steer you away from things that maybe make you happy. And again, the other thing here that we just talked about is there might be things you want to do that aren't traditional. And, maybe you have people in your life that are like, what do you mean you're not going to go to college? But it's like, I don't know, maybe college isn't right for you, right? With the Knight of Wands, you have the Three of Cups. So definitely celebrations coming in for you and happiness. I do get like, again, a lot of moving stuff here. So some of you could be moving, but you could also just be joining a new community. So that could be like getting a new job. Like when we get a new job, obviously we meet new people. So we're kind of like joining a new community, but it could be anything. Like you could be moving, literally getting a new job, could be any of those things. And I feel it's going to be like a big celebration, doing something new, doing something different, Scorpio. So I kind of like this for you. I feel like it's encouraging to let the shipwreck go and get on the new ship. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this organization card here. So I do feel like you have gotten organized in life. And, I kind of feel like it's saying, like, keep going in that direction. Keep moving towards your 10 of Pentacles, because that's what's going to ultimately lead to all this happiness. You have this card of Convention, and this is an old story. I don't like this card right now because we have Pluto going into Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius is like anti-convention. Convention is just the way things have always been done. So it's like there has never been a time like this where the universe is really encouraging everyone to change their story. So if you have ever wanted to change your story, and I don't care how old, how young, whatever you are, now is the time. But again, the Convention card says you have to do things differently. You have to do things you've never done before. Again, most of us, we get stuck in a story where we just experience the same day over and over and over again. And this is just saying make some changes, right? Do things differently. Literally, could be anything. Like maybe you go to the same store, go every single day, go to a different store. Maybe you drive the same way to work, drive a different direction of work, right? And these things might sound crazy, but as someone who has done it, I promise you, you never know what you could discover when you do this. Next, you have this Risk card. Everybody's been getting these cards of risk. There's like a billion of them in these decks here. So I just think we're in a time of risk. This kind of looks like the Three of Pentacles to me. So again, if you are taking any risks, I feel there are plenty of people who want to help you, who can guide you and all that other good stuff. Next, you have this card of power. I feel like you're kind of gaining power. You even have the Emperor here. And if we pretended that the Emperor was you, it really says to me that you're like ready to step up. Those are the words that I'm getting here. It's like you're ready to step up into this new position, right? Maybe you're the captain of your ship now. And you're kind of like guiding it towards, I don't know, hidden treasure, Ten of Pentacles. And finally here, you have the assertion card. Well, I get a million things here. Number one, I think you need to be more assertive. I'm a big fan of being assertive and confident right now because I think the universe wants us to be brave and stick up for ourselves. But I also feel like you could be attracting a person who is very assertive. But this is a pretty interesting reading here, Scorpio. It'll be interesting to see where this goes next month. But thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.